Welcome to Startup Climb, where we bring you interviews with startup founders. Through this podcast, we hope to go behind the curtains to find out where it all begins. This is an inside look on their journey, their struggles, and how they overcome adversity. On today's episode, we have Shaun, founder and CEO of iPrima Media, which seeks to help SMEs acquire, retain, and monetize new and existing customers through omnichannel digital strategies. Welcome, Shaun. Hi, Shaun.
Hi.
Hello. For listeners that might not know of iPrima Media and your team, could you share a little bit on what you do?
Oh, okay. Sure. So iPrima Media is actually an O2O digital agency where we started in year 2012 in Singapore. Then after that, we came to Malaysia. We started in JB. And then after that, we expanded to Sarawak and KL. So we currently we operate in a few areas in Malaysia. And we have set our operation team in Malaysia. And in Singapore, they are mostly sales and business development team. So basically, iPrima Media, we started as a digital agency. Then after that, we transformed it to a digital platform where we don't operate like an agency anymore. So even though we call it agency, but the model is very different. We somehow changed the model. Yeah. So the reason why we changed the model because we found that lots of we have to lower the cost of production. So in order to make digital marketing services affordable to a lot of SMEs. So that's basically what iPrima Media is.
Right. So how big is your team at the moment?
We are currently operating at around 50 people, right? 50 marketers in total.
Right. Okay, cool. So I think I want to go a little bit into how do you even stumble across this concept of creating iPrima Media in the first place? Was there a problem that you identified?
Actually, I started working in the tech startup. I used to work in tech startup since the year 2008. It was shown nearby, right? It was a location-based app, right? And it was also when the iPhone was first launched, Android. Okay, it was back then. And then I was exposed to these digital services back then, right? About website design, SEO, and in-app advertising. And after that same startup was acquired by Global Yellow Pages. And then after that, after acquisition, I went out to start my own digital marketing agency, right? So, but when you ask why I started this digital marketing agency, because during my years in the startup, I met with lots of SME owners, and I found out that lots of them, right, they didn't have a website. They didn't even have a website, and they didn't even understand how digital marketing could actually help them in their business. So, and that's why I've seen a lot of a very big market in that area, right? And I thought that why not I just start a digital agency, right? Helping business owners to grow the business online. And I'm seeing the trend will come somehow someday, right? Because it was really, really underutilized, right? Yeah, so that's the reason why I started. So I saw the problem in the market. They didn't know that digital marketing is there to help them, right? So I went out to educate them, right, with the digital agency that I started.
Right. So I think you talked about education, right? How do you educate them? How do you show them that digital marketing really benefit SMEs?
Oh yeah, because back then I was doing things alone as a freelance, right? So I had to reach out to one by one through email, right? I have to send email blast that to them and WhatsApp them when I found out, or just work around that area. All right, then I set appointments. So I meet them one to one. Okay, so of course most of them they're willing to meet me because I'm trying to offer them some opportunities that some strategies that I think might help them in their own business. So when they meet me, right, that's when I educate them. Yeah.
Right. But was there any difficulty that you face in trying to show them the benefits of digital marketing?
Yeah, it wasn't easy because back then digital marketing wasn't that popular. No one actually knew what the hell was SEO, right? They didn't know, but they somehow knew about website, but they thought website was just a catalog, was just a flyer. So my biggest struggle was it wasn't easy for me to educate them, right, to get them trust that internet will actually help the business, because some of them they actually told me that internet marketers are scammers.
Right.
They say internet are scams, right? They can't trust the internet. So what I did was I turned things around by selling them the idea of having a website that help them to expose the business. It's like brochure, but it's 24/7, and it's dynamic. You can change anytime. Not like brochure. I like brochure. Yeah. So I'm using flyers and the brochure concept to sell them the concept of a website, right? So the only difference was that it was dynamic. You can change anytime. So yeah, I used that. It was really challenging. I would say it was really challenging. Yeah.
Right. So how do you feel that like digital marketing has changed from when you first started iPrima Media till now?
All right. Right. I would say I started in Singapore, and then after that I went to Malaysia, JB and East Malaysia as well. If I compare back then, a few years back until today, right, the biggest difference was I had to go out one by one and keep persuading them, right? Tell them that this digital marketing can really help them. I have to send my sales guys to go out and keep telling them all these things, and they didn't believe as well, right? It was really, it was a headache to me, right? It was a headache to me. But compared to today, right, things has changed so much, right? Now they come to us. Right now they come to us and say, hey, how can you help me? How can you help me? It's totally different from last time. Yeah.
Right. So, like, why do you choose to expand to Malaysia instead of like the other regional markets like Indonesia, Thailand?
All right. Firstly, because we were based in Singapore back then. All right, they're based in Singapore, and the nearest market to Singapore was Malaysia, and I was JB actually. Yeah, it was JB. Of course, Malaysia. Yeah. So I went to JB and I started to ask around. I saw that JB was like 5 years slower than Singapore, right, back then, in terms of digital, right? The website that he used was a very, very old school site compared to Singapore ones. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so I saw even bigger market in JB. So I was early, right? I think we were the first full-fledged digital agency in JB for SME back then.
Right.
Yeah.
But as you expanded to KL, was there a lot more competition because it's like the capital instead of like JB where it's a bit further away from the city center?
Oh yeah, talking about this, we chose JB and Sarawak, East Malaysia, was because we thought that the competition is much lower, right? The competition was much lower compared to KL. And secondly was because KL was too far from me, all right? Because it's nearer to me, because I travel to and from Singapore, so I thought it was much easier for me. Why Sarawak? Because I'm a Sarawakian, right? It's my hometown, right? So easier for me to penetrate into the market. So same thing in Sarawak, we became the number one, the largest digital agency as well, right? Especially in Miri, the HQ in Miri, we were the only one there. So we captured the market early, I would say. So that's the reason.
Right. Was there a difference in doing business in JB versus Sarawak, or it was like about the same?
It was about the same actually, but of course the team over there in Sarawak, they say that JB was much advanced than Sarawak, but I don't think so. Yeah, because I traveled both cities, both states, I would say, right? Yeah, I realized they were the same, right? The retailers, the SMEs owners, they think the same way, right? It's the same, yeah.
Then, like, what was the difficulty that you face? Because, like, I mean, you're based in Singapore, but you have to handle like Singapore and Malaysia operations. Like, was there any difficulty like in trying to convey messages across? Because like you might not be there in person all the time.
Yes. It was really a big challenge to me back then, right? Because we had a team of around 50 as well, 50 something, right? But it was really challenging because I didn't have a system in place, right, back then. So I would just keep hiring. I kept hiring, and of course, what I did was I get managers. I get my partners in JB. I hire partners, right? So I get my partners to join me, right? In JB and in Sarawak as well. But Sarawak, because it was led by my sister, right? So it was easier as well. And we are in different cities in Sarawak, like we were the Miri, Bintulu, Kuching. So different cities, we have different partners. We have different HOD, I would say, right? Different managers. Yeah.
Right.
So even though we have managers, but it was hard as well because the managers we couldn't communicate as a team, right? So the communication was really tough, was really challenging. So we have had lots of hiccups, I would say. So it was really challenging. Yeah.
Right. So like how do you solve that then?
All right. So the only way that I solved was I had to travel around because I used to think that I don't have to travel. I would just hire managers. There should be enough already, and we use lots of the online tools to help with the discussions. But apparently, it didn't went that way, right? Because they were not motivated to use the online tools, right? So I had to travel physically, right? So that's the only way to settle that, right? So I had
Right.
to travel. I travel frequently, but I was hired, right? But yeah, so that was the only way for me to solve the issue.
Right.
Yeah,
So I think just now you were talking about like hiring. I would like to move a little bit into that.
yeah.
So like how far into starting iPrima Media before you make your first hire, and what were like the qualities that you look for in that first hire?
All right. So I hired partners, right? At first, I don't hire employee first, right? So I started alone together with my wife back then, and then after that we get a partner in. So yeah, so a partner came in. We got 3 partners, right? One in Singapore, two in JB. So in total, there were 4 of us, right? 4 of us. Okay.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, we started the first partner hire during the very first year of starting the company, right?
Right.
The very first year of starting the company. Yeah.
But like what do you look for in that person? Like must he be like very hardworking, or like what was the quality that you were looking for?
Oh yeah. So I forgot about that. Yes, correct. I was looking for someone who really believed in the vision because when I first started iPrima, the digital agency, I told them already, right? It's not going to be a digital agency in the future. In 5 years' time, it will become a platform, right? Because I didn't want to be in service for long, right? I knew it was very hard to scale. It had to be a platform, right? It becomes an ecosystem, a platform of an ecosystem. That's why we had to venture into many other businesses, not just digital marketing, right? So they have to believe in this first. Secondly, right, they gotta be very hardworking, right? Because all of them were new because they didn't know this digital marketing, but they somehow heard of it before and they wanted to learn. Okay, so all of them were new, so I had to train them up. I said, so the quality I was looking for was people who really believe in me and they were hardworking and they must be proactively learn how to solve problems because in digital world we move really fast. Okay,
Right.
and they must be able to work as a team, right? Not alone, right? These are the few criteria. And the most important thing will be they must have a positive attitude because everything is like it's a can-do mindset, right? Everything, yes, it's can, right? We do everything. We face problems positively. All these things, yeah.
Right. So like when you first started, like how do you allocate like resources? Because when startups first like start, they have very limited like money, budget and resources. So like which area do you put your resource in?
All right, so that was one of the reasons why I don't hire employee first, right? So I get partners in because partners they actually invest money in the company, right? So first I got funds coming in. Secondly, of course, I sell first before I get the partners in because they have to believe in whatever I did that time, right? So
Right.
I went out and do sales first, right, as a person. And then I got the sales, and then they saw, wow, it was really a good business, right? And people really pay for this kind of amount for the service, so they join. That's why they pay money and join, right? They invest in the company, they join. Then with the fund, we allocate most of the fund into softwares, right? Softwares, and that was when some of the partners they actually started to question me, okay, but why I
Right.
allocate so much money, so much fund into softwares, into tools, into digital tools, and I said because we're not going to hire so many people at first, but we need tools, we need digital tools to help us to replace these people, and it will be much more cheaper, I would say, right? We'll get
Right.
much higher ROI back then. And also another thing is I wasn't really good in every area in digital marketing, right? I had to buy courses and I have to use tools to help me to do design. There was like example, like something like Canva, where I can't remember. There are lots of tools out there, right? That we've used before, and some automation tools, right, for social media like Buffer, stuff like that. But because I
Right.
couldn't hire so many people to do the social media posting for my clients, example. So, and how about an email marketing tools and the SEO tools, all those tools, right? So I look at most of the fund, right? At least 50% of them into tools, right? Into tools on
Right.
the monthly basis, and that's where we also have some struggles with the among the partners lah. And the second bigger things that we invested in was the course, because we have to keep buying courses, we have to keep learning. That was the only
Right.
way for us to continue to stay competitive, right, in the industry. Okay, so that's the thing. And the third largest was people, right? People. That's it. Yeah, so that's the third largest one, because the people
Right.
come after that, marketers. I would say the third largest one, it also causes to to lose quite a big sum of money as well, right? Because back then we couldn't hire really good marketers, so we had to hire fresh grads and train them, right?
Right.
They came without any experiences, so we had to hire them and we had to train them. So I did mass hiring, right? Like 20 people came in. So but the mistake that I made was I didn't spend time build our SOPs, right? Our internal system. I didn't spend the allocate fund into that. And that was the biggest mistake that I had. So when we started hiring, when we started to scale, because we started to have lots of business coming in, we started to sell, everything crashed, right? Because we couldn't control the quality of work, we couldn't control the marketers, right? Our employees, and of course, clients did lots of refunds, right? And clients complained. So I think that was the biggest mistake. Misallocation of fund, right? I forgot to allocate some part of the fund into building our internal structure, right? That's the biggest mistake. So during scaling, we face problem. So that's why we started. We always reach 30 to 50 people, right, at the height, and then we came down to like around 5 to 10 people, right? We always restart for the past few years. We have been restarting the whole thing. Yeah.
But like, how do you like get out of it? Like, when your clients start to come back with like refunds and complain, how do you recover from that?
Yeah, so there was a pain as well, right? So of course I have to go out and explain together with my partner as well, right? Because some partners actually, one partner, she actually had handle sales, so she had to went out and explain to the client, and I have to go out to meet the clients as well. But we try our best to save some of the clients, but lots of them we couldn't save, or have to lose them. Okay, then there was a pain as well, a very big lesson learned. We rather spend more time on our good clients, right, rather to acquire new ones, because once we've lost those clients, we have to keep going out and finding new clients. So I would say, if the question is how I recover all those things, all the complaints, handle all the complaints, right? First, I went out and tried to set them back, but I couldn't save most of them, and I have to go out and acquire new clients. So the cost of acquisition became higher, and I lose even more money. That's the issue.
Then was there a time during that period where you were like, oh, I don't think I can do this anymore? Or like, were you always like, this is the vision and I'm going to hit it?
All right. Yeah. So actually, for me, I lots of times I feel like giving up. Okay, but it only happened when all my partners didn't support me. Right. I have been very strong. Right. It's like, I have got to do this. This is going to be something that we were going to achieve together in the future. Right. We must believe in this. I was having that kind of attitude back then, but anyway, right. The support from the partners was very important, I would say, right? Even the people beside you, like my family, right? Same thing, right? They start to question you already. They say, hey, what are you doing? Why don't you just go back and work for people? It was much easier back then, right? So work for people, but why should you, why you continue to struggle this way, right? So when people around you started to question you on a daily basis, right? Consistently, like for a few months, you start you start to question yourself already. So is it the right thing to do? Okay, so of course, after a few days of after a few days of thinking, right, resting and meditation, all those things, right, and I start to see clearer picture again, right. I told myself, right, this is the right path, right. So I have to keep on fighting. So I just believe in myself. I just keep people fighting, and only keep those people who believe in me, right? Those who didn't believe in me, right? They can leave, right? And of course, they left, right? Some of our partners they left, right? So that was the only way that happened on me, right? That I can that pull me through, right? All these things. So I would say people around you was very important, right? It's very important, right? You have to ensure that the team they are there to support you, but if they're not, they'll somehow pull you down, right? They will discourage you. But even though there is no right or wrong in the things that you want to achieve, right? You have to believe in that. But all you need to do is to change your strategy. Maybe it's not to ask us to give up, but we have to change our strategy. That's the only thing that we need to do. But most of the time, the people around you, they will ask you to give up. So to solve the problem, just change the people around you, right? So that was the method that I used for me to survive for all the struggles. That's why I'm here today.
What was the greatest factor that you feel contributed to your success today, like where you are today? Are there like some people their interview they might say luck, or some people might say that it's because it's they just continue pressing on. So what would be your greatest factor that you feel contributed to your success today?
All right, I would say firstly it's about the clarity, right, or the things that you want to achieve. You must be really clear. Okay, so you won't be affected by whatever happened around you, right? So I was very clear that there is things that I want to achieve. There is a build an ecosystem that will help other people in the future, because I believe I want to be able to have the ability to create jobs in the future and to power the economy. So that was the thing that I really wanted back then. All right, it was a big dream. Okay, so my strategy was I was trying to use digital marketing to achieve the things that I wanted to achieve. All right. So I would say clarity and the determination, because once you're clear on your goals, the things I want to achieve, right, and the determination will come, right? Because I strongly believe in the thing that I wanted to achieve, and I knew, right, I'm able to achieve it. Okay. So that's why I was determined to the success. Yeah. So yeah, clarity and determination, these two things.
Right. So the digital landscape has diversified and changed throughout the years. I mean, last time there was website, then when social media came about, there was Facebook, Instagram, and then now there's TikTok, right? So how do you constantly keep yourself up to date?
All right, so this is where the hiring comes in, right? So I will keep hiring younger and younger people, younger and younger team, because I believe younger team, they are much more capable than I am. Right, so because they learn even faster than digital native people, right? So when you hire them, they are creative, right? They're exposed to the latest technology, which to me probably it was like, example, TikTok. It wasn't easy for me actually. TikTok is tough, right? To me, it's tough. Okay, but it's easy for the young team, right? For people like you guys, right? It's very easy for you guys, but it's very hard for me, right? So what I did was I just get talented people to join the team. So that's a way, because now our structure is much stronger. So we get our really, really talented people who join our team. They will treat the platform to be a place to unleash their potential. We're giving opportunity to these people. So that's the way. And of course, we work with partners, all right? Because there are some partners who are really good in different areas that we can't cover. So we get them in to join our platform, right? To be our mentor and to train the younger team as well. Yeah, so that's the strategy that I'm using right now.
Right. So I think I want to go a little bit onto current situation, because I think now we are with the COVID thing, and then in Singapore there's circuit breaker, in Malaysia there's the MCO. Yeah. So how do you how do you impact the business, and how do you pivot or change the way you do business just to adapt to the situation?
Okay, this is interesting. So I was spending like everyone else back then. Wow, I was stuck in Malaysia because I stay in JB, by the way. Right. So I travel every day to Singapore, right? But suddenly Malaysia, they got this MCO, right? Wow, we gonna lock down. I couldn't go anywhere. Even our Singapore business, Singapore team, I couldn't meet them as well. So we had to change everything suddenly. So it took me a few days, right, of thinking. I didn't know what to do. So the only thing I did was Zooming. I keep on Zooming, right? I keep meeting many people because everyone was panicked. So we just keep meeting, keep talking. Then after that, I realized that they were all asking about the O2O thing already, right? Everyone was talking about O2O. I mean, a lot of people in Malaysia, there's Dato, right? There are a lot of bosses, the SME bosses, they come out and cry. They say, "Whoa, what happened? Hey, why lockdown? A lot of companies went bankrupt, right? They're going, they were in financial troubles. Lots of them, right? All the big companies. So the topics was really, really popular, right? Really trending, right? Was really hot topic back then, and everyone was seeking way out. So of course they all knew somehow our friends that refer friends, they all knew because I was in the industry for very long already. So our past clients, they all came back, right? Or they refer their friends. They say, "Hey, Shaun, can you do a webinar or not? Right? Can we do a Zoom call? Right? We want to talk to you." Stuff like that. So, then I arranged lots of meetings. I had lots of meetings. I never stopped talking to people from morning until midnight. Never stopped, right? So they were panic, and I started listening to them, and I realized that they were all panicked, and then they said their businesses got disrupted. They didn't know what to do, and there are lots of money haven't been paid yet, and it's gonna take some time. Even 2 months can kill the business already. 2 months can actually, or even 2 weeks sometimes, right, can kill the business already. So the cash flow. So I asked them lots of things, and then they started to find it, to ask me, "Hey, how digital can help us?" And after that, I said a lot of people they actually seeking that they see digital marketing as the hope, right? All of them, I say, now all of them they see digital marketing as their hope, the only hope now, right? So two things happen, right? They asked, right? Can you teach us, right? So I started to conduct online courses. Online, right? We haven't done it before. We only did that offline. We haven't done online course before. So they requested it, and they just hired me and my team, right, to conduct online training. So somehow I get my team to do online training as well, right? So then at least we got something to do. Okay, so yeah, we conduct online training. Then after that, we realized that after the training, they didn't know what to do as well, right? They say, "Hey, can you help me to do to provide the service, right? Can you help me do Facebook, all those stuff?" But there was a very big problem, right? They didn't have money anymore, right? They lack of funds, right? So they try to save up, lah. So can you do at a very, very low price or not? Wow, low price, I take also cannot. I don't take also cannot. Something like that, right? So I did one thing because back then my team was also quite scattered already, right? It was tough, right? They were also panicked. I couldn't control as well. So I realized, right? There are so many people. There were so many SME business owners that need help in their services, right, and training, but they couldn't afford higher price, not the normal price the normal agency could charge. Because I also heard a lot of digital agencies they actually closed down, right? They are closed down. The reason was the clients actually pull out. They stopped the service because they didn't have the budget anymore. All right. So I didn't want iPrima to close out just like that as well. So what I did was I saw the opportunity. There is a very, very big market at that time in Malaysia. Okay. So, but the problem was there was not much agency who can not many agencies who can actually do like social media posting, all the services at a very low cost. Okay. So what I did was I gather all the people, my previous marketers, and some of the very, very, very in the industry experts that I know, right? So come to join our team, come to join iPrima. So I created a team called Fights, FYGTHS, Fights, FYGTS, it's like Avenger team, right? I created a team like that, which will launch like next week probably, right? Probably somewhere next week. So we get 10 of them to join the team, right? We do profit sharing. I officially turned iPrima Media into a digital platform where we get existing digital agencies owners, all right, to join our platform, all right, as mentor, right? So we call them Fights team, Fights member. So as a mentor, our job is to train new marketers, because I see another opportunity that lots of people will lose a job. Okay, fresh grads they couldn't find jobs, right? And they got retrenchments, right? A few millions of them actually in Malaysia, around 3 million of them will got retrenched by end of this year, I think, right? They will lose a job. Right. So I saw the opportunity. So I would just turn these people into marketer. I have to groom them. So when I groom them, they join our mentorship program. but we're not going to pay them money. We're not going to pay salary, but rather we'll do profit sharing, right? We'll do profit sharing. But in return, they have to serve our clients. But I teach you new skills. I turn you into marketers, right? You have to do profit sharing with me, right, with the client. But at a low rate because you are quite fresh. So because we also knew for SME owners, they don't need expert to run their social media, right? They only need someone there, right, to do something for them. So what we did was we get our mentors, the experts, to lead the fresh team, to help the SME owners to conduct their digital marketing, right? Yeah. So at a much lower cost, I would say around at least 50% cheaper, right, than the normal price at least. Yeah. So now we are actually onboarding lots of SMEs now, especially in Malaysia. Yeah. So that was what happened. How I pivoted.
But how do you ensure that? Because I mean, like, you're training a whole new bunch of like marketers, right?
Yeah.
How do you ensure that they are good enough, or like, you know, like, because like the previous case was that it was very hard to maintain quality, right? Like I think you mentioned that a lot of your clients left previously because like you didn't have a system. So how do you ensure that these newly trained marketers will be able to deliver to the same standard that the SMEs will expect?
Okay, so now because thanks to my 8 years of experience in training people, and some of my team still with me, right? So we have experience in the failures, right? So we knew what was actually causing the problem. So now we have very strong system, right, to control the quality, right, and the people. So we do lots of filtering. So even though it's free training, we don't onboard everyone. So not everyone will come to us say, "Hey, I want to be marketer." We don't just accept anyone, right? So we have some interviews, right? They have to pass our 6 criteria, which is the attitude, right? We told them, right? You really have to have a really positive attitude, right? No matter what the mentor asks you to do, you have to say yes, I do, right? And you must be able to work as a team, right? We need you to communicate as a team, to work together as a team. And thirdly, right, we need you to have a growth mindset, right? You need to have a keep learning mindset. You don't use your past experience to apply it into our system. Culture here. So they have to accept these 3 conditions first. If they say yes, next 3 will be when it will be when they truly join us, right? We'll check on their performance, right? The speed of delivery. We just keep teaching every day. So every day we have this meeting, and they have to report what tasks they have accomplished, right? And the mentors will check, right? If they are not active, right? Every week our mentors will review them. If they fail the review, right, after 1 month, they will be dismissed. They'll be removed from the program. So we are very strict on the program. So we only filter people. That's why, because I believe now the filtering really works compared to last time. Why? Because they're now all of them, they are searching for a new way out. All right, they now love digital marketing as their career. Right. Just this morning, I actually onboard another 10 more people. Right, 10 more people, new marketers. And when we ask them, hey, why do you want to join us? They say, because I think that's the only way out right now, right? And digital marketing skills is here to stay forever. I mean, now and at least for the next 5 to 10 years, right? So it's a skills that they need, right, to continue to run your own business or to help other people, right, as an agency, or they can join us, right, as a consultant or as a trainer. Okay, so we have a very strict system over here, because we told them it's free, but we'll remove you, right? So it's like free training, free on-the-job training. It's a 3 months training program, right? So every month we'll be auditing, testing them. So after 3 months, we believe that if they can pass our 3 months program, they are somehow qualified to be to handle our client's job already as independently, I would say. Yeah.
Right. So like I think we talked a lot about like struggling and like how did we like pivot from all the problems that we face, right? So like let's go on to like the other side. What is your greatest achievement thus far, where you felt that, hey, I'm quite proud of myself for being able to achieve this particular milestone?
Great. All right. So I think the greatest success of iPrima Media is about we are really good in building platforms, right? Right. We are, even though we struggle in iPrima Media, right, for the past like few years last time, right? But myself, I started another a business called Stone Emperor, right? Basically, is we help Singapore fabricators, stone fabricators, the kitchen countertop, stone fabricators. Back then, right, no one used digital marketing, right? We help them do digital marketing, right? In a way, it's like dropshipping concept. I created a website, costandemployer.com.sg, right? But we had nothing, no product, no factory, no manpower, nothing, right? So we get direct manufacturers, fabricators, right, to supply us with all the photos, right, with the product that they have, right, with the and together with the brands, with the products, we put everything on website, and then we rank on first page Google, right, and we did social media marketing. And back then, my wife was the one handling the call, right, for the customers to come in, and then we market to Singapore homeowners. The homeowners back then, we knew from the research on SEO or on Google that people are searching for direct supplier. They did not want to go through interior designers to renovate their house, right? They want to find direct suppliers who's going to supply their kitchen tops. Okay, so we create a website, select kitchen top, other people product, but the sales will go through a salesperson, which was my wife. And when there's order, we collect the payment, right? And then we get the fabricators to do the installing, the deliverables, right? So it's like we operate like a drop shipping. And that business, I would say we use zero acquisition cost because it was purely SEO and done by me myself a few years back. Okay, and it was making it was making around now 2 to 3 million a year, Sing dollar right now, right? Passively. Okay, so because we have too many calls coming in, and we started to hire 3 to 4 customer service to handle the calls. So now my wife, she's only handling the account side. Yeah, so that was one of the greatest business that we have, right? Minimal investment, but great return, right? Every year, and it's growing every year, right? But you don't count the COVID time, right? So, and the second thing, of course, about the acquisition of Renttalk is Singapore's oldest and largest renovation platform, right? 2 years ago, I acquired this portal, right? It was giving millions of traffic, and after acquisition, right, I started to work with lots of big brands because iPrima back then we couldn't work with big brands like Maybank. But now Renttalk, because of Renttalk acquisition, we work with Maybank, we work with Quartz, IKEA, right? These are the big brands that we are working with right now, right?
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, the good thing about this portal is same thing. We actually curate, right? We get all the interior designers, product vendors in Singapore to come under one platform. So homeowners can come to our platform and find reliable interior designers. So I believe I'm solving the problems of finding reliable ones, IDs, right, among homeowners. And for homeowners to find direct stone supplier back then, right? So I did the platform for them to find them easily, right? So we provide a very good customer service to them. And of course, after that, we expanded to other platforms as well. Like we have lifestyle platforms, we have platforms for couple, and then we started in Sarawak. We started the largest fun run, night run. We call it Neon Rush, right? It was the largest in Sarawak, right? Back then, right? And it becomes a yearly event right now. And Uber actually supported it, and some big MNCs actually supported our run. So it was our first run. We didn't have experience. So I think it was started by the 3 members in Miri, all right? So there was of course, my sister, right? So I think there was a great success, and we made a huge sum of money as well. And then we somehow donated to a non-profit organization. And the second year, we started another Oktoberfest, right, in Sarawak as well. It was very big. It drew thousands of people, a few thousand people, right? It's a small city there. So there was a really, really big success. And we got international DJs came to a small town like Miri, and created something fun for them because they didn't have that last time. So we somehow, right, created something for the community, right? That was something that I actually was proud of. Yeah, that's about it.
Dude, it sounds like a lot, man. like it really sounds like there's a lot of businesses going on. How do you cope? Actually, iPrima, how do you cope?
Okay, so that's the reason why we hire many people, right? The many marketers, because the dream that I sold them was you're here not just to be a marketer, because I believe because they were young, right? They're all young, right? I believe you want to be entrepreneurs as well. So I encourage them to be entrepreneurs, but I will start something that you can start, or you can start within the organization. So allow them actually things like the new rush, right? I was the fun run. It wasn't started by me. I was just giving the idea, right? It was started by some of the youngsters over there, right? The three of them, right? And then we have others as well. Like we've got another called Buzzy Time, right? Started by other people also, right? Some of our marketers inside there, which is still with me, with us today until today. So we encourage them to do entrepreneurship within our organization, because we want to have more entrepreneurs, because we believe entrepreneurs can power the future, the economy. We need them desperately, right? Because there are not enough of them, the good ones, I would say. So iPrima become the platform for them to unleash the potential to be entrepreneur, right? But we equip them with the marketing skills, because we believe digital marketing can help them to grow the business, right? At a very lean way. I want to add in something as well, because after that, we invested in tech as well, tech startups, like call it Beamstar. Right, Beamstar is an app, and they match VCs and entrepreneurs, because we love entrepreneurs. That's why we invested in them. Right, they're quite well known now, right, in the startup world. They work with big companies and the big VCs as well. Right, Beamstar is something that is an app like LinkedIn, right, but it's a matching app. And we also invested in another startup called Techla, right, in Malaysia. Right, it's funded. It's also funded. It's a startup as well. So. Yeah, a few more actually. We became the investor, right? So another proud moment is iPrima from the entrepreneur myself. I became an investor a few years back, right? And invest together with other VCs. So I became an angel investor. So that's one of the greatest success as well to me.
Right.
Yeah.
I would like to talk a little bit into like this area, right? How do you choose the startup to invest in, or how do you choose like which website to acquire? Like for example, you talked about how you acquired Reno Talk, right? So how do you choose? I mean, like there are a lot of other competitors out there. There are a lot of options. Why specifically this few?
Okay, it's really about the founders, right? About founders and the value that I see in the digital asset. Like for example, like Reno Talk. Okay, so because I see something in Reno Talk, because it's a platform with ready traffic and it's in the renovation industry, which complements to what we already have, like Stone Emperor, right? We were also in this industry, and I saw opportunity as well, like Reno Talk itself, because it was just a platform, but they were not in media, right? It was just a matching platform, but they were not in media. So once and then I saw opportunity in media and advertising. Okay, so after acquisition, I turned that into media. Right, I started to build videos. I hired a video team, right? Create videos, create content, and I turned the banners into assets as well. I sell advertisement, because they were not selling advertisement aggressively last time. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I acquired Reno Talk, and also about the brand, because it's the oldest brand in Singapore, right? So yeah, so about the brand, I love the brand. Okay, but there's asset. So, and of course, I also knew that. There are people who will want to acquire Reno Talk in the near future if we turn that into e-commerce, into the tech. So after acquisition, I started to work with many tech startups people. I will ask around, see, hey, how can I change this into tech? Example, I do something about tech. So yeah, I mean, until today we're still discussing because there are too many ways, and we have to raise lots of funds in order to make it into real tech, right? But anyway. There is a brand there already with ready traffic and users. So it's something that it cut short my time, right, to start another tech startup, right? And on the other hand, right, this is acquisition. But on the other hand, well, how I choose to invest in startups, how I choose startups was firstly, I need to know the founder first, right? I want to see what do they see, right, in their business, in their entrepreneurship. I want to see whether they were seeing the same value as I am. Right, we gotta be aligned first. Okay, so if we are aligned, we don't just invest money, because I think money will never be enough, right? But we want to see whether we have the chance to work together, which I am able to help them, or we can together to help the economy as a team. So to me, right, it's like I have a new team, I have the new entrepreneur, because I love entrepreneurs to work together. Right, that's one thing, right? So invest in that person, invest in the company, right? And we grow as a team in the same ecosystem. Yeah, so that's how I choose the startup to invest in. Yep.
Right. I think I would like to go a little bit into like I think this is a little bit of a reflection area, right? So like what was the biggest thing that you had to sacrifice in order to push forward your startup? Because it really sounds like it takes out a lot of your time and a lot of your energy, right?
Yeah.
So what is the biggest like sacrifice that you had to make?
I would say time with family, right? That's the biggest sacrifice.
Right.
Yeah. During the entrepreneurship year, it was really, really busy, right? And even I couldn't really find time to fly back to my hometown, right? To my hometown, my own hometown, right? Even in my Singapore side, I used to stay in Singapore, right? I didn't really stay at home. Right, in Malaysia, same thing. I didn't stay at home, right? I had to go out and meet people, right? I was always on the go, right? Outside meeting people, talking. So, yeah, I would say the biggest sacrifice will be the time with family, right? So time flies really fast. Yeah, so that's the biggest thing to me.
Right.
Yeah.
If let's say like you could go back, right, and restart this entire thing, what is the one thing that you would do differently?
All right. Because I think that what's actually caused such a took me so long, or it took me so long to succeed, was because of the system. Because this was the mistake that I always make, and I hope the new entrepreneurs won't repeat the mistake as well. So even though we say we just do whatever we want to do, right? It really depends, right? I would say focus on the scalability to me lah, right? If you started something already, of course, for a start, maybe we didn't know what to do, right? We just do anything, it doesn't matter, right? But once you have found the things I really want to do, like me myself, I really want to do iPrima that time. I knew I have to build an ecosystem. I started from digital marketing. I knew this already, right? So it was very clear. But the next thing I think I should do, or if turn back time, what I would do was I will focus on building system first, the internal system. Right, to learn more, learn from people, right? Attend courses, learn from people who knew how to build system. Because back then I chose to learn about how to get more customers, how to do digital marketing. But I didn't care about building culture. I didn't care about building a team, right? So I think I will invest in building the team, building the culture. So what I should do, right, to make the company can scale, right? What's actually causing the company couldn't scale, right? So that's one thing I should do, because I didn't do that. That's why it took me so long to get things right. Yeah, it's about the internal system, right? If you found your way, I would say, right?
I'd like to wrap up this interview with like just one last question, and this is, I think, a question that you sort of talked about earlier. But what is one advice that you give to an entrepreneur that just start or looking to start?
Okay, I would say you must understand why are you starting your entrepreneurship first. I think the why is very important. Don't just start because you want to make money. I think that will demotivate you, right? Sooner or later, right? You will really fail if you start entrepreneurship because of money. Because entrepreneurs, I mean, this is something that I really need to tell all the new entrepreneurs, right? Entrepreneurs are broke. Entrepreneurs are broke, right? So I didn't think that way. So I thought being an entrepreneur are going to be very rich, but it was not true, right? It is not true actually, right? So what I'm trying to say is don't start an entrepreneurship because you want more money or more freedom. It's not true actually, okay? So you're going to start because you want to achieve something, right? Big, right? You want to achieve something, right? Which your current employers couldn't give you. No one can give you what you want, right? And then you'll find your why. Yeah, there's a why when you start this thing, because I cannot find this in my current employers, right? My current organizations, and I want to do something that no one is doing right now, right? Because I think this can actually help the economy, help the people around me, all right? So that's solve the big problem in the market. So yeah, so always know the why, and you will push yourself along the way, right? You push yourself, so you will not give up, right? So that's the advice that I want to give to all the entrepreneurs today. Yeah.
Right. Thank you so much, Shaun, for taking the time to actually like talk to me. Like, I know you're like a very busy person, and I really, really appreciate like you taking your time to talk to me.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks for inviting as well. Yeah. love to share. Yeah.
Hi, listeners. So that was the end of the interview with Shaun. The conversation covered quite a bit, but my biggest takeaway is the why. Why do you want to start a company? In the interview, Shaun mentioned that if you start with money in mind or that you want to be rich and that's why you start your startup, it will demotivate you sooner or later. And I think that really helps to put things in a different perspective. He also mentioned that you have to start because you want to achieve something big or something that no one can give you. And I completely agree with that because I feel that having the end goal and vision of what you want to create or the future that you're trying to achieve with this company will really help you to always keep sight and not lose focus even in tough times. In my opinion, I feel that it is inevitable that a startup will face some form of difficulties, right? That are like unexpected. And I feel that in those times when you are struggling, it's very difficult to keep yourself going. And I think that ultimately, as long as you know the why and why you want to get started, it will really help you to push through. And these are my thoughts for this episode, and I would love to hear your thoughts on this. And if you could just drop me an email or like ping me on LinkedIn, then I think we can have a conversation from there. We have come to the end of this episode. I hope that this has been an insightful learning experience for you. Do follow us on Spotify and Google Podcasts to catch future episodes. Till then, take care.